Okay, so it's back to the 94 S10 again, and things are starting to look even rougher and rougher all the time. Every time you see this thing, it's probably getting in worse shape, but eventually it'll get better. And right now I've left the engine alone, and I started doing some body work. Come to find, once I started taking some things apart, there's a lot more rust in there than I expected. So this is right beside the rad there, and the inside of the rad cradle, looking pretty soft down in the corner there, and where the inner fender bolts on, pretty sloppy right there. And on this side over here, beneath the battery box, not exactly looking the greatest over in this corner either. Right here you can see the inside of the fender, and that's where the inner fender was bolted to, and it's got a lot of rot on it there, so I'm replacing this fender also. You can see right through to the other side of the truck, and my son was over here and he helped me take out the inner fenders. Okay, I should have shown you how I was doing this when I was taking the inner fenders off. But anyway, there's just a whole bunch of bolts that hold this on. There's one there, and then here, all the way up and around. And then there's one that holds it right here on that bracket. And see the nuts on the bottom of that bracket there. That bolts onto the inner fender as well, and right there that bolts onto there as well. And then it has 3 bolts there that hold it onto the rad cradle. They're up from underneath, and I couldn't get them all out, so I ended up cutting that off with tin snips. Comes off pretty easy anyway. And I was in the house and I heard a bunch of rummaging around going on out here. I had ordered some parts for this truck yesterday, and they said they wouldn't be until tomorrow. And a guy from Clausen Auto Parts, where I usually get all my stuff, he brought a brand new rad cradle, a brand new fender, and there's the inner fenders right there. There's one of the old ones. The other old one is back there, and here are the 2 new ones that he just brought, delivered and all. So there's the fender, there's the rad cradle. Now I gotta get busy. I've got all the power wires off and ground wires off of this side over here. There's 2 grounds that were up against the cradle here, bolted into there, and then the horn wire and another wire that goes into the battery cable down there. And got most of these clips pulled out. I think I have all of them, and you should be able to salvage these things if you are careful with them. If you just tug on them or try to pry them out, they're going to break on you. That'll break these little tabs off. So if you just squish those 2 little tabs together, that's all you need. I got all the wiring unhooked there, so I'll try and pull it through this hole. Got one left holding it on the signal light there yet, and then I need to pull this whole harness up through this other hole over here on this side where it goes through. So there's the rod cradle, and right there through that little hole I pulled all the wiring through and just kind of hung it up on top of the truck for now. Now the front end is all hollow. There's no more wiring left anywhere in here. Now I'm not replacing the driver fender, but I'm going to take it off anyway. I'm going to be doing some more work on the truck before I put the front end back together. So I'm just going to take off this here, or I just call that a power bar right there. And I'm going to take off the windshield washer tank, and I think that's the only thing that's actually attached to the fender. So right about here is that power bar that I was talking about. So this is just held on with that one bolt right there, and this fits into a hole down there somewhere. Anyway, once you take the line off, it's going to want to spew out some fluid. Or maybe not. I'll just lay that on its side. One last thing that you should do before you even start lifting this out is take the hood latch cable off. I almost forgot. Well, this plastic has to come off of here anyway, and it's kind of in the way to get at my hood latch. Just get in behind there with a screwdriver and pull it out like that, and it'll pop right out. And these will go together. You have to pull it outward. And I dropped it. In order to get the hood latch cable off of here, just get something to pry underneath it there a little bit. Don't break it, but it'll slip right out of there. And then once you get it out of there, you should be able to weave this out of this clip here. There. Sorry you couldn't see that any better, but you gotta kind of push down on it and then pull it forward and lift it out. And it just pulls up through here. Now before I'm done, there's going to be a lot of work getting done around this front end area, so I'm going to take these lights off too, just so that nothing happens to them. I got one off and the other one's almost off. Okay, anytime you're ready.